Oi. Hey. Hello? Hey. Oi. Oi. Hello. 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 Where'd the minute go? Hi, how are ya? Why is this not working how I want it to? This shit's not working. Okay, whatever. Okay, I can't edit this like I want to, but it's whatever. Alright, well. Alright, Kid Rock on Fox News. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Failing schools allow kids to protest ICE. Oh my goodness. Wow, they're really bombarding other propaganda on here. When did Kid Rock go on Fox News? I saw Kid Rock on Fox News. I'm looking for it. I've seen it. Is it just on? Okay, well. I like it when things don't work. It's actually pretty cool when they don't work, you know?
Money and where you don't want to spend your money.
The left wants to tank the U.S. economy.
Cool. All right, gonna watch a bit of this Piers Morgan. Gonna watch some nice.
I watched the Bad Bunny show. I saw nothing problematic about it at all.
This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos.
I want to send a signal to Americans that the most radical act in a capitalist society is non-participation, and that you have power to decide where you want to spend your money and where you don't want to spend your money.
The left wants to tank the U.S. economy.
Okay, Megyn Kelly. This is the one I want to see. Apparently, she said some even more unhinged stuff. She's definitely on a mix of very powerful drugs all the time, 24/7. So it's really interesting to see what she generates next, you know?
Megyn Kelly, Megyn, great to have you back on Uncensored.
Great to see you back, sort of on your feet and looking so well, Piers.
Do you know what? I took my first steps. I felt like Neil Armstrong today. I was walking along my high street with 2 crutches, 24 days after face planting, and it felt like a moment. I was like out of the house, suddenly breathing fresh air again. The whole thing has reminded me that in the end, if you don't have good health, you're screwed.
It's so true. But you're strong. Good for you. I'm amazed. I saw that picture and I thought, A, it's great you're back on your feet, and B, good for you for posting your progress. A lot of men wouldn't want to post that with the 2 crutches, but it's a testament to your fortitude that you're doing it at all and that you're still doing your show. I admire your strength, as always.
Do you know what? I mean, I won't labor the point, but 100,000 people a year in the UK alone have hip replacements. Now, mine was forced by injury, but actually, that's a lot of people. And I just thought, I've got a lot of followers. Why don't I just tell them how I'm getting on? Because
Yes.
I thought the healthcare there.
the response I've had has been incredible. People telling me about what they've been going.
So we've got that going for us. Fingers crossed.
Well, talking of pains in the ass, let's get into something, because there are going to be some things that I talk about with you where we're going to be in total agreement. But I'm going to start with something where I know we are totally in disagreement, and that is Bad Bunny. So I got up this morning and I watched it all without reading anything about it. I just thought, I want to watch this completely clean without anyone's view contaminating my brain cells. And I watched all 15 minutes of it. And I've watched every halftime show going back 30, 40 years. I thought as a piece of theater, it was the best I've seen. Just the most extraordinary kind of Broadway on steroids piece of theater. I also thought it wasn't remotely divisive politically in the end. His Grammys speech was, but his performance, I thought, was actually a lot of things which I would have thought people on the conservative right would applaud. It was about love. A couple actually got married. For real?
He's promoting marriage, traditional values. He brought the Americas together. He chose love over hate, just like Jesus would have wanted him to do, right?
In the middle of it, he was preaching about unity, not just the United States of America, but the wider Americas. What was
she hates Jesus, dude. She likes the Epstein class instead. If Jeffrey Epstein and Jesus were having a duel, she'd vote for Epstein.
Problem,
you know that.
Megyn?
A certain male gesture is coming to mind, but I'm not sure I can do it on this show. No, it wasn't about what he was actually going to do during the middle of the Super Bowl performance. It's about him. It's about him being chosen as the Super Bowl performer, somebody who's been an outspoken critic, of course, of the Trump administration.
How dare you criticize Donald Trump? You're no longer allowed to speak.
And of America and
Sorry, liberal.
anti-immigrant policies. This is long before the current controversy over ICE. He doesn't want illegals deported from this country. Well, too bad, because the majority of Americans do want that.
No, he doesn't want random kids beat up when they're seeking asylum legally in America. Okay, it's pretty simple. Most human beings are anti-ICE. Okay, most human beings who have a brain
are not shy about pushing for it, and that's why President Trump got elected. So he and his little buddies over at Green Day never miss a chance to bash the United States of America. He got selected because Jay-Z, for some reason, has got the choice over who performs at our Super Bowl, who's another problem. Don't even get me started on his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Why is he choosing who's appropriate for American children to watch during our seminal sporting event? And I'm sorry, Piers.
Wait. All the stuff in those files was fake. There were unfounded allegations. There were unfounded allegations from when Jay-Z was, before he was even famous, basically. Like, there's nothing substantial about Jay-Z and Epstein being friends. But meanwhile, again, Donald Trump is mentioned more in the Epstein files than Jesus is in the Bible. But they'll somehow blame Jay-Z for Epstein connections, but not their Lord and Savior, Donald Trump, of course.
But to get up there and perform.
Megyn Kelly is pure trash. Thank you for $2. I definitely agree. Thank you for the super chat.
the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer.
Wait, so it's for the country to be unified, but it cannot be black. It cannot be Latino, Hispanic. It cannot be any. Okay, so what culture is allowed to be on stage to so-called unify us then? What culture?
Performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Interesting.
Okay, what is the national language, officially, the national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official,
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
So she just said, my opinion is it should be English. She cannot answer the actual question because conservatives cannot let one bit of fact pass through their brain hole or their ears, whatever, in one side out the other. If they let one truth penetrate their brain, they will have an aneurysm. Okay.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out. That people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
right,
so you're trying to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here.
It's gone.
Whether it's Hispanic.
Bro, UK has no culture. It's not there anymore because 5% of the population is Muslim. 5% of the population in the UK is Muslim. Therefore, it's a takeover of the country. You don't have a country anymore. Oh, I'm gonna be a little pissy pussy bitch and cry about immigrants. Oh my god. Oh no, 5% Muslim. No.
And whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything.
No, American football is meant to generate billions and billions of dollars for corporate owners. They only care about that. That's why Bad Bunny's there, because he has a platform only second to Taylor Swift. He's the biggest artist in the world, other than Taylor Swift. Okay, he's extremely famous, extremely popular, very talented. Okay, very talented as well. But still, they want to make money. They want international reach. It's a capitalist framework. It's not meant to be owned by America, for America, by America, whatever. And I mean, I think this is good for America, but it's by chance that what's good for America right now is also making them money with Bad Bunny.
Around it needs to stay quintessentially American, not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good old-fashioned American apple.
By the way, who brought up Muslims? Are Muslims taking over the NFL too? Is Bad Bunny a secret Muslim, apparently?
Pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
Okay, two things. One, you've conceded you don't have a national language in the United States officially. And secondly, the language you do want to be your official language is my language. The language of the country you think has gone to pot.
Is Bad Bunny a Christian too?
So my obvious follow-up is, Megan, why do you want English as your national language if you think England has gone to hell in a handcuff?
He's a devout Catholic. He's a devout Catholic. Or he was raised in a devout Catholic household.
Pierce, I think those medications for your hip have gone too far. We need to dial back a pill or two, okay? We want something that we can all understand. I don't think Bad Bunny used his appearance to bash America, but I can't be sure because I didn't see any subcaptions on his Spanish language performance.
But what about Pavarotti? What about Pavarotti?
Two America haters.
What about Pavarotti, who Donald Trump in 2016 in particular would use at every campaign rally? He's used it at the RNC, right, as a triumphant tub-thumping anthem. Well, no, hang on. Not only Pavarotti.
I've been to lots of Trump rallies. Pavarotti gets a song, maybe two.
He sings, but when he sings Nessun Dorma in Italian, I don't see you leaping up and down going, I can't understand a word of it. You're probably singing along.
I don't remember him being the Super Bowl halftime show, was he?
Oh, no, he's only used by the president, who you think is the great white savior of America. So you would think that would hold some stake in your opinion, you know?
Would you have minded if he was?
Yes, I would have, because We feature English-speaking performers at the quintessentially American event of the Super Bowl. We do Michael
LOL.
Jackson. We do Whitney Houston. We do great bands that love America, like American rap. That's a different situation. This guy who can't stand the country comes out and starts speaking in Spanish, and I'm sure the people in South Florida...
Wait, Bad Bunny said, "God bless America," and then talked about love over hate. And she's offended by that. She does not believe that you should be saying "God bless America" because she hates America.
Really enjoyed it. The people in an American territory, Puerto Rico, really enjoyed it. But the people in the heartland had no idea what the hell was happening. This is a guy who loves to parade around in a dress, who again hangs out with Jay-Z and his Epstein-loving pal.
Is she drunk? Is she actually drunk right now? I don't think drunk. I think she's on other drugs. But this is unhinged. She looks like okay.
Who gets up there when he's not bashing America with his pals at Green Day, who are from the far left People's Republic of California, who have never missed a chance to rip on Trump, MAGA, half the country, or ICE, and that's something they share with Bad Bunny. That's not representative of what the heartland wants to see. And the heartland always gets the middle finger from people like Jay-Z, like Roger Goodell, who should know better, but he's a panderer who runs the NFL. And that's why you had probably closer to 10 million people turning the channel and turning to the Turning Point event, which was pro-American, which was absolutely beautiful, which had several references to God and faith and this country, which had a tribute to Charlie Kirk at the end of it, and talked about Jesus and how he can change your life. That's what America's all about. We are founded as a Christian nation. We're still a Christian nation. And what we want is somebody up there to celebrate how freaking special this country is, not a bunch of people who can't stand us. And over what? Over our desire to get illegal immigrants who are raping and molesting our children out of our country. That's
Remember, every time she does this, and nice face, by the way, whenever she does that and she says, "You're pro child abuser and murderer," she's using the death and abuse of children for political points, because none of us say we're pro those things, obviously. She can make actual arguments. So like, hey, this is why we should beat up 5-year-olds and tear gas newborns. And this is why ICE should be feeding kids food with worms in it. And this is why ICE should be making kids sleep in their own fecal matter. She could make those arguments and actually respond to the points we're making on how ICE is brutalizing Americans and immigrants alike. Okay, we can talk about the actual arguments, but no, she wants to use the death and murder and abuse of children for her political points and say, "You're pro-rapist." It's like, no, obviously not. But if she engaged with the actual point, she would fall apart easily. Again, conservatives cannot engage with the actual arguments at hand. Okay.
all ICE is doing.
Okay. Every new year, I think
there was a big story out this week about the conditions for children in front of that one center detention facility in Texas, where there's a bunch of people in their own fecal matter who have not seen a fruit in months. They have not seen a fruit. And it's not only happening to black and brown people. It's also happening. There's an Irish guy. An Irish guy was here on a work permit. He married an American citizen. He married her. Okay. He was here doing nothing wrong. He's been in ICE custody in detention being beat up for 2 months now. Okay. This Irish guy, this white Irish guy, for no reason other than ICE being a dumb organization, a dumb, evil organization. Why the hell is he behind bars right now? Why are our taxpayer dollars going to attack someone like that who is here legally, who is not violent, who is not a criminal, who is married to an American citizen? Trump has not done one thing this entire presidency to make immigration easier, to make legal immigration easier. In fact, they have fired immigration judges and restricted the ability of immigration courts to help people follow legal processes. So when you see all the money being spent on a massive surveillance state and deporting people and putting kids in cages and concentration camps, but $0 being put towards fixing the broken immigration system, you know their goal is only evil. There is no argument.
Let me present a different view of Bad Bunny, which is he's the son of a truck driver and a teacher, born in Puerto Rico. He's an American, born there, naturalized American. He is the most successful artist in the world. He's the most streamed artist globally on Spotify for 4 consecutive years, nearly 20 billion downloads in 2025 alone. He has sold 123 million equivalent album sales. He's won Grammys. He's won everything. He is a fantastically successful American story, isn't he? And isn't the fact that he ends up performing at the halftime show exactly the kind of journey that America was founded on? which is a guy
The
who
story.
comes from very little, born in America, who actually makes it to the biggest pinnacle because he is, right? I mean, look, I love Kid Rock, okay? And I actually really enjoy the Turning Point show as well. I like them both. But Kid Rock's not had a hit single in the last 11 years. This guy is right now the hottest star in the world, and he should be on the halftime show.
But no, we should get child abuser who loves underage girls, Kid Rock, a drunk, a washed up drunk, to do songs for our all-American halftime show, which is the conservative safe space away from the actual halftime show because they're too triggered to watch the real one. Okay, they need a safe space. It's pathetic and sad. This is the most peak snowflake behavior you could possibly have. But yeah, let's get this drunk asshole out whose prime was 15 years ago and whose prime could not reach Bad Bunny's toenails. Okay, his beautifully painted toenails. All right, and they'll be, yeah.
I can't think of a compelling reason
too
why
divisive.
not.
Because he's too divisive, Piers. That's
divisive means brown.
I'm
right?
giving you the reason. Maybe because you're not an American, you don't get it. He is too.
Please drop a like if you're watching this back on YouTube. Please drop a like if you're watching this on stream. I'm reviewing this live, so if I mess up on anything I'm saying or trip on my words, please bear with me. Bear with me. Grizzly bear type shit, Polar Express type shit. On God, off God, okay, drop a like, please. Leave a comment, subscribe, join Discord. You can call in a few minutes if you want to call in with the phone number up top. After I finish reacting to this, I'm gonna watch until the end of Megyn Kelly's talk here, I think, but she's here a while, so I'm not sure how long I'll go.
Too divisive a figure. No one would begrudge him his personal success story. Good for him. Great. We love that here in America. Just like we love when our half pipe freestyle skiers make it to the Olympics, despite all odds. They overcome them, but when you go overseas wearing the American uniform and you bash America on foreign soil, when you're wearing our stars and stripes, we get very upset here in America. It's not that we don't stand for free speech or differences of opinion or love rags to riches stories. We do all of those things. But there are certain things that we expect of the people who are representing us when they're overseas as Olympic athletes or when they're in the middle of the Super Bowl, which is our event. That is a heartland event that gets usually man, but lots of women too, on their feet, feeling patriotic opinions, but they don't voice them publicly because they realize they're in a line of work where that could be alienating opinions, but they don't.
The separate issue of Hunter Hess, the US Winter Olympic skier, who said this at the weekend.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. I think for me, it's more I'm representing my friends and family back home, the people that represent it before me, all the things that I believe are good about the U.S. I just think if it aligns with my moral values,
Megyn Kelly.
I feel like I'm representing it. Just 'cause
he said he loves his country. He loves his country. He will represent his country. But there's aspects right now he's not very proud of. And if you really love your country, true patriotism, this is patriotism. If you say you need full blind obedience to your country, you cannot ask a question. If you want to ban athletes, which MAGA is calling to ban this person from competing in the Olympics because of these mild criticisms, you are a nationalist. You're a fascist. That's authoritarianism. Okay, this is patriotic. You should be able to criticize the country you love.
I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S.
You see, I think when you're representing your country, I'm trying to think, what would I feel if that was a Team GB guy saying that about Britain? And I wouldn't like it, because I think if you're representing your country in a global event like the Olympics, just avoid criticizing your country while you're doing it.
That's the point of America, is you're allowed to be a loud person. You're allowed to be loud about your country. That's the point of America. That's what we have terrible healthcare in America compared to other countries. Our life expectancy sucks. Though the air quality sucks. The water quality. We have our infrastructure sucks compared to Europe. The one thing Americans can brag about is we could say whatever we want about our country. We can criticize our own country. That's one thing Americans can pride themselves in. That's one thing. It's such an American thing to do that, actually. And the fact they're anti that shows how much they hate this country.
It seems to me pretty straightforward transactional deal.
Do you know what athletes over here would give to don the stars and stripes and go represent the United States at the Olympic Games? Anything. Those things get decided by 1/100th of a second when it comes to speed or landings, etc. And this guy, he gets the privilege of going, and he has forgotten.
Wait, privilege. It is a privilege for sure. It's a privilege, but also he is good at what he does. It's a meritocracy in some sense. Now, you can talk about training and different access to resources, you know, whatever, but we're talking about people who worked their entire life for this moment, and you're going to degrade them and just say that you did something for them. Like you're the reason they're going to be in the Olympics competing. Like you're dumbass who made money from just being a dumb talking head on TV, who has shape shifted more than any, she has shape shifted more than Ben 10 in the Alienverse. Like if you know that reference, then
the most important lesson of the great Herb Brooks, who coached the Miracle on Ice team that won against the Russians in 1980. In an event so historic, they've made several movies out of it and documentaries beyond, which is the name on the front of your jersey is a whole hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. You go because you're representing the United States of America, not the guy back here. No one gives a damn about you, Mr. Hess. You'll be forgotten in about 2 minutes, whether you win gold or not. That's the truth. But your bad behavior about your country and the flag that you have been sent to represent will be remembered for a long time. You have single-handedly managed to alienate more than half.
Bro, you people forgot about Charlie Kirk right after he was assassinated. You people are degrading his body, making money off it. You people forgot. You forget about your own values the day after. You forgot you care about Epstein. You like Trump was dissing Charlie Kirk and praising Epstein at one point, and no Republicans talked about it whatsoever. Like Trump was talking about how amazing Bill Clinton is, how he might give a pardon to Ghislaine Maxwell. Big news today, by the way. Ghislaine Maxwell is offering to give to clear Trump's name if he gives her a pardon. Like you don't care about any of this. Like you're using Charlie Kirk's name for profit. You're letting Trump like flirt with pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell while he's trying to censor the Epstein files. Like you have no values. You forget about everything the second after anyway. I don't care about what you remember or what you do. It's about greatness. These athletes want to achieve greatness. They want to chase greatness. They're in the Olympics because of their own personal accolades. Like I'm happy to see them being able to be in America where they're allowed to criticize our country. Because in China you can't do that. In China you're going to get killed or you're going to be banned from competing if you're in China. If you talk about your country. If you're in Russia, same deal. If you're in a bunch of these other countries, same deal. Right? These authoritarian countries. We don't want to be those countries in America. But the MAGA types want us moving closer to Russia and China and the Middle East. They want Middle Eastern policies and Russian and Chinese policy for American citizens. They hate the Constitution. They hate that we're allowed to speak out against them. They hate it. They're fully authoritarian guys.
Regular, moderate, liberal Americans who don't like this crap. If you can't represent the country proudly, don't go. And he says, oh, I'm representing my family and my friends. They don't have the power to let you wear those stars and stripes. They are not empowered to grant you that uniform and let you say you represent the United States of America and run in the red, white, and blue or ski in the red, white, and blue. They can't do that for you. Your friends and family can give you the hot cocoa when you come in from the mountain, but they can't give you the stars and stripes and America on your back. So if you can't represent that country proudly, get that jersey off of your back and get.
It would be so fun to be her, bro. Like you just make up shit to be mad about 24/7. She does not believe any of this, okay? She does not believe one word here. But they're all grifters. They're all trying to shapeshift to be the next, catch the next wave, to be a MAGA commentator, to make money off it. Like she does not believe any of this. It's kind of funny watching her try to pretend to do, some type of act here.
Give it to someone who can. I think I speak for most Americans when I say we'd rather lose. We'd rather come in third or second or not place at all than win with a guy who can't stand the country he's doing it on behalf of.
No, he said he loves parts of the country. He does not love certain parts of the country he wants to change, like every American. And you hate him. You'd rather lose than uphold American values. You'd rather take away his First Amendment and also lose than uphold the First Amendment. So, I think upholding the First Amendment is good. I think winning is good. I want to keep the First Amendment and win. She's anti-First Amendment, and she's also okay with not winning. So who's really the loser here? I don't want people like this, losers like this who sit on the sidelines and complain about shit. And she is really complaining because she's not doing shit with anything. She sits in front of a microphone and talks 24/7. She does nothing else. You can't talk about athletes like this and be taken seriously.
Today's show is
LGBT people have broken up with, but she hasn't gotten the memo because there's complete parity and equal rights for all gay people in America. There's an issue over trans people because that's a whole different kettle of fish. And even our Supreme Court has recognized that as of late. In any event, she's trying to glom on because she loves victimhood. So she's tried to raise it as a fake issue because that's just what she wants to do. Do you think you could do that in Russia? You think you could even speak in a really tough time for people in the LGBT?
Oh, another person. She said something about LGBT. Do you think you can do that in Russia? No, you can't do that in Russia, which is the entire argument I make, is that MAGA, their policies, their social policies they should love the Taliban. They should love Muslims who are very far right, radical fundamentalists in the Middle East. They should love countries where women can't speak and abortion is banned fully and gay people can't be alive or they get killed if they show that they're gay anywhere. Any idea of them being gay, it's outlawed. Okay, like they should be in favor of. They want to move towards those countries. So they're saying like, oh, Russia, China. Do you think you can say this in Russia or China? And when they make that reference, what they're saying is, oh, you can get away with it here, but not there. And she's saying you should not be able to get away with it here. She wants to move America closer to how Russia and China handle free speech. And that's why they're fully authoritarian, guys. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. That's the whole MAGA thesis, is like, oh, we want to punish you, take away your rights for the dumbest possible reasons. Okay, please, if you want to call in, you can call in. The phone lines are fine. Here. Trump voters are snowflakes. Are snowflakes. Prove me wrong. There you go. Please consider donating to Drolla Politics and Cash App or Venmo.
Hello?
Hello, how's it going?
Hey, I was just watching your stream.
Awesome, what's up?
Go ahead.
Nice, so what's up?
Yeah, so I was just watching your stream, and honestly, I just want to say, first and foremost, I think I've seen a lot of these types of streams, and I just want to say that I like the work that you're doing. It seems much more like engaging with your audience. You allow people to speak, so I just wanted to say I really appreciate that. So some of the things you're saying about when it comes to policies with the right wing of the federal government, when it comes to policies that want to be like Russia or China, I think people are having a hard time understanding that you have a portion of the government that can be so backwards that it does make sense. Like you would want very authoritarian policy, kind of like Russia, China, Taliban. You could not walk into what's the place called? Not Singapore. It's Dubai. Like you can't walk into Dubai as a gay person. You will immediately be arrested. But that's what the right kind of wants. They kind of want something that's similar to that.
Yeah.
My only problem is that I think sometimes when we look at policies, we don't really focus on the middle of the country. And I think that's what I have the biggest issue with commentators, not specifically against you, but a lot of commentators don't really focus on the meat and bones of what actually is happening in our country in the middle. Like you could say 15% is left and right together, but I feel like 70% of all people don't really want extremism, like full left and full right.
Well, I mean, the issue is that the extremists on the left make up 5% of the party, and the extremists on the right, so Democrats and Republicans, the extremists on the right make up 95% of the party. So it's a hard comparison to make when the crazies on the right are in power. The communists on the left are nowhere near power.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you get the statistic from. I formally believe that I don't think it'd be 95%.
It's just the concept of the minority of the crazies on Democrats' side, but the majority of the Republican Party is crazy.
I would say it's much higher on definitely on the Republican side. But I think people on the Republican side have really lost sight of what really needs to happen in our country, and they're just kind of bootlicking, to be honest. Like, if, for example, with the Epstein files, I mean, it's not just Trump that's involved, but it's also Democrat parties as well, like Clinton. And I don't understand, or like Hillary Clinton as well. I really don't understand why we choose to alienate ourselves when it's more of a problem of elites versus people, not left versus right.
It's hard because when like you had an oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, do you have any advice on how to bring people together to focus on a common issue when it comes to something that is more important than just left versus right?
It's hard to say because the biggest issue in America right now is deciding on what is basic reality. That's the biggest issue with social media and getting people to be emotionally regulated. I think the politics of today are a result of the emotional and mental trauma caused by things like the internet and social isolation. And that's why COVID was huge for the right wing becoming more radicalized, because they thrive on that. If they become radicalized, you can radicalize more people and make them afraid of immigrants, for example. If everybody's like stuck inside and everybody's on their phone, even on their own volition, they're making that decision. So the big thing is you have to activate people who have the capacity to work in politics and organize. Not everybody's going to be able to do that. Some people are just going to be conspiracy theorists. Some people are just straight up losers. Some people give up with the process. We have to encourage them to be a part of the process. And activate whoever is willing to be activated. In media in general, you have to have, I think we have to have common principles and values, some type of moral core about how you, and I can refer back to Christianity about a lot of it, how you treat your neighbor, how you deal with those who are corrupt, abusing the poor, just basic stuff like that. Right now, it's very okay in America to be pro king or pro CEO or pro mega, maybe trillionaire. We bow down to those people. We need a sober view of all this stuff, or it's going to keep on going a really bad direction.
Yeah, I agree. I was just taking a look at your comments here that are populating here. I think one of your mods here too was talking about the Clintons, and no ill will to them at all. But when it comes to Hillary, I mean, she's a byproduct of what has happened. Like, you can't say there hasn't been bad talk about like what Clinton has done or if he slipped up and said anything. I know she's probably not mentioned in things like that, but she's an accessory to it, regardless of what you think of left versus right. But it's just really sad to see in the comment section of people who outrightly just blatantly will fight to the death when it comes to Democrat versus Republican. Like, if I'm a Democrat, like I'm personally not going to say to Republicans, even if they're on the far right extreme, there's no reason to engage with them in a conversation which both people are yelling or both people are just shouting nonsense at each other. There needs to be constructive conversation. And I'm very disappointed with the people who are in this call. I actually lean more towards the right, but I'm not going to go ahead and call people names or say people are, whatever belligerent, derogatory terms you could probably think of.
It's not even just names, really, right? I mean, it's an attack on truth in general. And Trump really brought this in. Yeah. He distracts people with names, and like tariffs, for example. There were economists asking a basic question like, are tariffs inflationary in a point of where they raise the cost of a good because it's a tax on that good? And the White House still to this day has not admitted that. A tariff is a tax on American consumers and American businesses. And Amazon was going to have a tariff number or like duties and tariffs number on their checkout, so people could see, just like a sales tax, how much they're paying in tariffs when they import something. The Trump White House called that an act of aggression, simply showing people the tax they're paying from tariffs. They called it an act of aggression. So even that basic acknowledgement that tariffs are a tax on American consumers and businesses, and if Amazon's going to show people that's an act of aggression, And Amazon has big mergers and government contracts. They want Jeff Bezos and all that kind of stuff. So they have to play nice with the administration. That alone, you can't have a basic fact about tariffs. They cannot let any fact in. If you want to say it's Orwellian, if you want to say it's whatever, if you want to say it's Fahrenheit 450, if you want, whatever book you want to use, for dystopian purposes, the blatant attack on truth is so damning and clear that it's going to collapse this country if it continues.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like people can't get engaged with the truth because it's too boring, to be honest.
I think it's cognitive dissonance. I think it's painful for them to realize they're wrong. They would rather lash out and break stuff than say they're wrong.
I mean, even looking at this conversation, you're like, oh, conversation's dead. Like, you people, and they're like, oh, Biden was calling them names and this and that and whatever. It's like, that doesn't mean you have to do that. You don't have to stoop down to that to that level.
No, but I'm sorry, but Biden talked multiple times about how America needs a strong Republican Party. Most of the money from Biden's policies went to red states, and Biden and Pelosi even said that Republicans are respected in America. We need a strong Republican Party. And Trump's calling all Democrats domestic terrorists. And people want to say like, oh, both sides say bad things. It's like, no, one side is obviously worse. One side is literally quoting Hitler. Like, it's not even a joke. Like, he's quoting Hitler often. And Stephen Miller is the top guy in the White House. You can complain. You can say both sides do bad things, but one side's bad things are so much worse. It's like comparing Hunter Biden using his dad's name to get a job. To make like $4 million or whatever, comparing that to Jared Kushner, Trump's stepson, running American foreign policy and getting like $5 billion in foreign investments from countries, and then having foreign royals from the Middle East, Gulf states, buy half of Trump's World Liberty Financial, whose top stakeholders include Steve Witkoff, who is also Trump's special envoy for all these countries, and they're wheeling and dealing their USD1 currency, cryptocurrency, to all these foreign countries on behalf, using American military and foreign policy as a way to make profit. And Trump has profited billions of dollars this year from the presidency. And you could say, well, Hunter Biden using his dad's name to get paid on this one energy board is bad, and both sides do bad things. But it's like, okay, that's one nepo baby using, and he does have a resume, but still using his dad's name, who's president, which is bad. Sure, there's no proven connection with Joe Biden or corruption that Republicans could find. They have not found anything tying them together. And it's comparing it to this like open, huge fraud scheme, the biggest in the White House in American history in terms of total dollars. It's just like, I hate that false equivalency between those two. I'll call out both, but it's like we got to focus on one of the huge ones first.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sorry this is kind of like such a mild conversation, especially for reviewers. I think they want something a little bit more explosive, to be honest. But honestly, I believe that there's no justice being served on either side. And I don't understand why we just can't start it now. As a simple statement. Why don't we just start the justice now on both sides? Whether
Biden tried, and I'm not going to say Biden's an amazing president. I think he was a terrible communicator. I think as a head of state, he did terribly, but like in Minnesota, the Somali fraud investigations that Nick Shirley is getting praise from the right wing for, that investigation was started under Joe Biden's admin, and the top investigator there who uncovered all the fraud there, the ringleader, all the different people involved in it, that person who started the investigation under Biden now is resigning, I'm pretty sure, because the Trump admin is not interested in going after corruption. They're interested in attacking immigrants and attacking all Somalis instead. So it's like Joe Biden did certain things, and Democrats in general, like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, this is a government agency you can call if a bank defrauds you. It returned $20 billion back to American consumers since it was a thing under Barack Obama's presidency. It's been a thing for like 10 years. Trump just came in and destroyed that. Biden made it stronger. There were ethics violations that Biden put into play where his cabinet members and his White House staff could not take foreign bribes or foreign gifts or gifts from outside organizations. Trump rolled back all of those new ethic codes that Biden put into place. So like Biden made a really good effort inside government to clean up government, to make it more efficient, to make it more honest. But he got pounded in public opinion because of inflation, because of the Republican lies about immigration, because of Biden's weak response about immigration. So like we need someone who's going to be doing that stuff, but with more intention, more genuine, attempts to fix it, and who also can hold a microphone powerfully so people understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, because it's not going to be done in 4 years. We need like a 10-year project to get this done. So it needs to be cultural. I think it needs to be a cultural shift in America.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I just want to say thank you for the call. I kind of want to leave it up to everybody else to see what their thoughts are too. But I really appreciate talking to you, man. Thank you very much.
Hey, yeah, thank you for the call. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, repost, follow. Thank you for the super chats. Sprig, $5. Thank you so much. I was pointing out in our server that the Super Bowl was held in California, where they have a large Latino population. Yeah, definitely. So it made sense for the location of the Super Bowl, and they do that sometimes based on location and who they want to bring. All these states that have like Spanish names and stuff. Oh, Las Vegas. Oh, interesting. This guy's the best in the world. USA gets to have him, not the other way around. MAGA casting out the competition or the competent in favor of loyalty. Shaking my head. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for $5 as well. Yeah. It's just like, oh, we'd rather lose than tolerate opposing speech. Here, what is this person?
You guys like to silence people. That's amazing. How pathetic you guys are. What a joke. What's our... Hello?
Hi, you said I'm silencing you. This is the politics show on YouTube. How am I silencing you?
Yeah.
Why am I silencing you?
Hey, but that's what Democrats do. You guys are notorious for silencing people.
How did I silence you?
You guys have no policy, no facts.
How did I silence you?
Because I'm typing on your fucking thing and you fucking silence. That's what little kids do. If you can't win arguments, then
what, in the chat?
If you could write whatever you want, like,
I'm not banning anybody in chat. You got to take that up with the mods. I don't know what you said in there.
Well,
I don't look at the chat.
Put me
very
on
often.
so I can make them look stupid.
Okay,
Put me on so I can make them look stupid.
This is me. This is him. This is him. You're starting off good.
All right. So why you support Democrats?
I support Democrats because the Republican Party is currently an anti-American cult that rejects all facts and evidence and truth. Yeah. And Democrats have the only possible route to making America better again.
All right. So the Democrats started the KKK. The Democrats started the Tulsa Massacre, the Rosewood Massacre, the Vinegar Hill Massacre.
Who does the KKK support today? In 2026, who does?
Parenthood to
answer one question. Answer. Okay, we have to stop on one point.
Hollywood,
who does the KKK support in 2026?
Democrats. You guys started Antifa.
So you're saying the KKK supports Hillary Clinton. Saying the KKK supports the same party of Black Lives Matter. So the KKK believes in Black Lives Matter. They were BLM protesters.
How about this? I talk and then you talk. Okay?
No, okay, no, you can't bring up 50 topics. We have to pick one topic, so I'm picking this one. So, do you believe that the KKK today supports the party who is also pro Black Lives Matter? Do you believe the KKK is pro BLM?
What? Dude.
You say KKK supports Democrats, right?
Listen.
Okay.
Listen. The only reason that fucking Democrats are allowing illegals in, fucking Obama deported the most fucking illegals.
So illegals, Obama, deportation. I'm talking about the KKK. You said the KKK supports Democrats. Okay, so answer my question, okay? Does the KKK support Democrats?
Dude, Byrd was a fucking Democrat. Yeah.
Answer my question. So you're saying yes.
Biden,
so you're saying the KKK is pro BLM.
Was good friends.
Okay, so you're saying that guy, by the way, left the KKK. Biden was friends with him when he left, and that's why they marched together, because he left. He marched in favor of civil rights. That guy left. Yeah, Byrd, he left. He became a civil rights protester on behalf of civil rights. He left the KKK and denounced them. So you're saying today that the KKK is BLM, pro BLM.
What president freed a slave?
Abraham Lincoln.
Say it. Okay.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln.
Republican or Democrat?
At the
And
time,
no,
he was
the
a
parties
Republican.
never
Yeah.
switched, just so you know.
Yeah,
Republican and
they
Democrat.
did. Objectively, they did. Yeah.
No,
That's
they never
why
did.
the
Two
KKK
people
supports
switched. Two
Republicans
people
now
switched.
instead
They
of
never
Democrats.
switched. Okay,
Okay,
they
so
switched. They
then
switched
then
parties.
then
I'm
answer
gonna
my
make you
question
stupid.
then.
They switched parties.
Do the KKK today in 2026 support Democrats?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying the KKK is pro Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter is a fucking scam. It's all it was.
Okay,
was
no. So you're saying okay, it's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. Okay, it's a scam. So do you think Democrats are pro Black Lives Matter?
What? Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
they are
so
pro
you're
Black
saying
Lives Matter.
the KKK supports the party that's pro Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter doesn't mean Black Lives Matter. Black Lives
Okay.
Matter is just a fucking thing to fucking fool minorities. That's why they riot and wreck and set fire
Which,
in minority neighborhoods. They don't come into
are
white
you-
suburbs and do that shit.
Are
do
you
they?
against?
No, they don't.
Are you against Democrats taking down Confederate soldier statues, or should we take them down?
No, we shouldn't take them down. But
not?
Democrats like to silence and erase history.
Why can't we
Because-
take them down if they're bad?
Democrats want to get rid of their racist history.
Why can't we take them out if they're bad statues? Why can't we take them down?
Well, you're taking down your own history because you want to hide your own history.
They're saying
Just
the
like you guys
radical.
say-
You're
just
saying
like
the
you guys
DEI.
say,
You're saying the
"Oh,
DEI
the
critical
big-
race
the
theorists
big
are the ones who are
switch,
actually
the big
pro
switch,
KKK.
It's proven never happened.
Yeah, so
big switch never happened.
the diversity, equity, and inclusion people are pro KKK. That's interesting. So the KKK is also pro DEI. That's really interesting. That's very smart.
It's a bunch of people who are trans.
Do you think
And-
DEI is anti-white? Do you think it's anti-white for DEI to be a thing?
Why are you jumping all over the fuck? You tell me that I can't jump over the place, and here you are changing the topic.
So you're pro DEI. You're pro DEI. Okay, good. You're pro DEI. You're pro DEI. You're pro DEI.
Stick to one topic. Come on.
Okay,
you
so
wanna
you're
me
pro
stick to one-
DEI.
Okay, so you won't stick to one topic. I'm not. Democrats started the Tulsa massacre. The
Are you
Rosewood
pro
massacre,
DEI?
Vinegar Hill massacre, the KKK.
So the
Little
KKK
Rock
is pro
Nine,
DEI
Trail
is
of
what you're
Tears,
saying.
Planned Parenthood and
You
black
can keep listing
neighborhoods.
things. You can list different things for sure.
Hollywood Lane.
Wait
You know what Hollywood Lane is?
a
What is
second.
Hollywood Lane?
Do you think
I'm
Democrats
going to pick a topic.
do
gonna pick one
Democrats need
topic.
black voters to win elections?
Yes.
Do you think Democrats are trying to kill black people with abortion and Planned Parenthood?
Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, she started Planned Parenthood to get rid of the black fucking population.
Okay, so you're saying Democrats are
You know
pro
why the
Planned
IQ test was
Parenthood,
started?
but you're
You know
saying
why
that
the IQ
Democrats.
test-
Okay, are you saying? Do you think Democrats import immigrants to win elections?
You know what? I'm white and you're white. The bad thing is I'm fucking sticking
That's
up
a
for
weird
the fucking
segue.
blacks. And I'm a Republican,
You're
and
sticking
I'm
up for the
sticking up for the
blacks.
black
Okay, no,
people,
my question
and you're
is-
for the
my
Democrat
main
who
question is-
against them.
My main question is, if you think Democrats need black people to win elections and black people will vote Democrat, why would Democrats kill their own voter base? They need to get power. Why would they do that? Does that make sense? Wouldn't they want more black babies?
Because white people has 9 times more people than blacks, and as far as early as 2000, white people had 9 times a bigger population in America than Mexicans too. So they didn't really need
So
blacks
Democrats don't need black
or
voters.
Mexicans at the time.
You're saying Democrats
Huh?
don't need black voters. So Democrats don't need black voters.
They did it then. Now they do.
Okay. Now
Because
they
they're
do.
hemorrhaging
So
voters.
now
They're hemorrhaging
so
voters.
why are
Everyone's
Democrats
leaving the world-
pro-choice and pro-Planned Parenthood if they need black voters? If you think Democrats are killing black babies, wouldn't they want more black babies then if they get more votes out of it?
The thing is they're losing black voters.
Yeah.
So
So
people
wouldn't they
are
want
waking up
more?
to-
Yeah.
people
So
are
wouldn't they
waking
want
up to the
more black
Democrats.
voters?
That's why dude, why you think all of a sudden Democrats are for illegals? They were never for illegals. Never. Go look back at the fucking Clintons and everyone fucking saying the same shit Trump said way back in the day. Dude, I'm 46 years old. I was a diehard Democrat. I switched after because I'm open-minded. You're not. You're
No,
young.
the issue is,
You're-
oh yeah, I'm
you're
dumb.
just
I'm
not
dumb.
educated.
Do you know what asylum means? If you claim asylum in America, do you know what that means?
All right, why are you asking me questions? Let me ask you questions.
Because
what is
if you
Hollywood
talk
land?
about being pro illegal
What is
immigrant, so
Hollywood
like
land?
for
What is
example,
Hollywood
I'm
land?
pro asylum, I'm pro protective status, I'm pro different mechanisms for people to seek
Why don't
immigration
you answer
status
the
in
question?
America.
I've
If you want to say that
been
I'm pro
answering your
illegal
questions. Answer
immigration,
mine.
if you want to say
Answer my question.
if you want to say I'm pro illegal immigration, then why would I talk about, oh,
There you
we should
go,
be deporting
silencing.
people who are
There you go,
illegally
silencing.
here? Hey, just give me a chance to talk. I know you're spazzing out a little bit. When we talk about immigration in America, Democrats are saying that ICE right now is abusing kids who are applying for asylum. They're going through a legal process, and ICE is still detaining them for no reason. They're camping outside of elementary schools and preschools.
Dude,
They should be going
Obama
after
threw them
violent
in
criminals.
cages.
They should be going
Obama
after
threw them
violent
in
criminals. Okay, so you're a
cages.
big Obama fan. Great. I'm against Obama doing that. Great. Good job. And then Donald Trump came along and did the family separation policy. My main point is when we protest ICE, we're protesting ICE not even just with immigrants. They shot an American citizen 7 times in Chicago. They claimed that she drove a car into them. They drove a car into her, shot her. She's completely innocent. She's fully absolved of any crime. And now I'm hoping her killer goes to prison. ICE called her a domestic terrorist. She was shot by ICE wrongfully, an American citizen.
Do you know
There's
majority
another
of
American
ICE
citizen who was disabled who was thrown out of her car for no reason, and ICE beat her up and threatened to abuse her. All right, and those ICE agents are still in their job.
Do you know 65% of fucking ICE is Mexican?
Yeah,
you do know that, right?
Yeah, sure.
You know the 2 people that shot Good and Preddy? You know they're Mexican, right?
Yeah, his name was like Jesus and Edmundo.
Okay.
Yeah, so what?
So,
what does that have to do with it? Do you think? Wait. Do you think their race and ethnicity matters for their legal status in America? Do you think that means anything? That's their race and ethnicity.
That means they want them out too.
What do you mean? They're American citizens. I get it.
Illegal,
you think you're
citizen.
looking at it in terms of skin
American
color.
citizen.
I'm looking at it in terms of law and legality. So you talk about, there's some Mexicans. You're just talking about different races and nationality. I get it, and ethnic groups. So you don't care about legal status. Okay, fine, cool.
Oh, so you're gonna like switch it? Okay. I see what you do.
No, because you brought up immigrants and you're like, don't you know most of these are brown people who are working on the border? It's like, okay, sure.
You can't win an argument, so you gotta like not answer my questions, but I gotta answer your.
Wait, what
question?
What question?
Basically, what is Hollywood land?
What question?
Why did Hollywood get rid of the land in Hollywood land?
I thought we were talking about immigration. I thought we were talking immigration.
You don't know. It's because you can't answer it. You don't know. So
I want to talk about one of the 80 topics you just talked about pertaining to the rest of the world.
All right.
I want to continue a full conversation. We were talking about immigration.
Answer a couple of my questions. I answered yours.
No, we're having a conversation. No. Humans talking to each other usually pick a topic and they have a conversation about it. We can't stay on one topic.
I answered yours. Okay, let's do this.
That's not how a conversation works.
Let's do this. I'll answer one of yours. You answer one of mine.
About what?
Okay.
About immigration? Sure.
I'm gonna make it very simple. What is Hollywood?
About immigration.
Listen, let me finish. What is Hollywood? Is it more Democrat, like these movie stars and shit? Does it seem like most of them are against Trump or for Trump?
I don't care what celebrities think. I'm not a big celebrity opinion guy. I don't care about that much.
Does it seem like Hollywood is more Democrat or Republican?
Well, it's more artsy, so it's definitely more Democrat.
Okay, more Democrat, right? So you had Corey Feldman saying how it is crawling with pedophiles and that they molested him and Corey, the other Corey.
Okay. You can't talk about a topic. Okay, I'm going to silence you now. I'm going to silence you. I'm going to silence you. I'm going to silence you because Donald Trump is a big Diddy partier. He's a big Epstein partier, and you're super pro Trump. You're pro pedophilia. It doesn't matter.
Never went to a Diddy party.
It doesn't. Yeah. He was at Diddy parties. He literally said he was a good friend of Diddy. He might pardon P Diddy. He's going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell as well. Okay. He's on The Apprentice talking about him and Diddy being good friends. He's on The Apprentice talking about that. You can look up the Apprentice clip about that. You can't talk about immigration. You can't talk about the KKK. You can't talk about Democrats. You have to keep on switching to different topics because you can't stay on one too long. If you stay on one topic too long, you're going to be exposed. You cannot stay on one topic too long. No, I'm done with this conversation because I'm tired now because you jumped between 80 topics and we haven't even talked about one of them.
You know, Democrats are known to flee and run when they lose.
You know that Republicans are known to be schizophrenic and not be able to stay on one topic.
Why you guys run when you start to lose?
because it's mentally draining. It's actually mental trauma to talk to someone like you. Can we talk about immigration for 5 minutes straight?
I won't rattle off.
You have not responded to my points about immigration yet, right? You avoided the immigration topic. You avoided the Democrat topic. You avoided the KKK topic. You avoided every conversation so far. You moved on to other stuff. You pivoted. You pivot more than like you just pivot. You pivot more than a Rocket League player chasing another ball behind him. Like you're just pivoting, pivot. And today the KKK support Republicans. Today KKK supports Republicans.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they do, because they are very anti-immigrant, right?
You Democrats are only for immigrants because you need their votes.
Yeah, but still, even if you think that, which is fake, and immigrants are very conservative as well. But the idea you would think, so you think,
why don't you guys?
Because you want to say that KKK. Let me respond to your one. Okay, if you want to say that KKK supports the party, which is pro-immigration, pro-Black Lives Matter, pro-abortion, and pro-trans, you think the KKK supports that party over the party that says America first, that wants to ban every language but English, that wants to ban immigrants from all the third world countries. You think the KKK supports the woke party over the Republican Party right now?
All right. Where do you live? You live in Pennsylvania, right?
What, does that pertain to this? Does it add something to this? One point
I grew up in Chicago, okay? And I was a Democrat. And I can firsthand tell you that this Democrat city that I lived in was racist. Chicago is known to be one of the most racist cities, the most segregated city. Martin Luther King came marching in Marquette Park on 67th and Kedzie.
Hey, I'm sorry, I can't do this. You cannot be in the same conversation, dude. Like I asked you a very direct question, you cannot answer it. You're not engaging with it. You're not engaging with it. I just said again, anybody who thinks that KKK would support the Democrats is just, I don't know. Okay, so they're pro-DEI, they're pro-immigrant, they're pro-black. Okay,
dude,
cool.
I'm telling you a history. It's in the history book.
You can't respond to my question right now. Why would I care about your history if you can't have a regular human conversation, man? Hey, I hope you have a good night. I appreciate the call.
You lost.
Yeah, I lost. That's how kids talk.
Yeah,
That's how kids approach conversations.
I don't hang up.
Lost. I win. If you enter a conversation with another human trying to win or lose, then you have lost
the
plot completely.
Why do Democrats always hang up?
Because, like I said, it's brain damage talking to you, and that's okay.
Why did
I don't have my helmet on today though?
Why did the Biden
I can't keep getting CTE.
Listen, why did the Biden administration tell Facebook and Google to silence conservatives?
That never happened.
Mark Zuckerberg came out and so
never happened. Nope, that never happened. And Mark Zuckerberg came out to talk about COVID, not about conservatism.
There's a video of it.
Mark Zuckerberg lied about what was told to him once Trump got in office to get favor with him. And right now, the DHS is collecting a database of American citizens who are anti-ICE. And DHS is actually now forcing Facebook and Twitter and all these sites to give them information on our user profiles to track possible dissidents from the government. So it's actually happening now. The stuff Zuckerberg claimed on Joe Rogan's podcast is not substantiated. There's no evidence. Don't believe things without evidence. It's not good. You don't want to believe things with no evidence.
You know what's funny? I've been silenced. I made a comment and I got kicked off Facebook. I got kicked off. You silenced me. Another Democrat. You guys all silenced.
Oh, I silenced you. Okay. If you're gonna be, listen. If you're gonna be a victim with a victim mentality, then I'll silence you. If you really want that. Okay. Have a good night. No, it's okay. It's okay. You're a victim. You're a victim. No more stories. Okay. You're silencing me. If you enter a conversation crying and saying, "Oh, you're silencing me," and then you're continuing 15 minutes and you're still crying about that, you're not making any point. It's really sad, right? Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, repost. Thank you for watching. That conversation is brain dead. Holy shit. Holy shit. That guy left me a voicemail saying I'm silencing him too. So I'm silencing him, dude. What the heck? Please consider donating to Droll of Politics on Cash App or Venmo. I'm saving up for a Rode wireless mic. I'm going traveling soon. Free travel with someone I know. And I'm going to try to record content across the country to record another Democratic city. So Droll of Politics, Cash App or Venmo, become a channel member, Patreon, whatever. Or don't support at all. Just go like all my videos. I need algorithm boosters. Get ad revenue and get more viewers, guys. How you guys doing tonight? I'm going to talk to the chat for a second. I might be done. That was pretty exhausting. I had more videos I wanted to make about more YouTube videos I wanted to react to. That was exhausting. I might just do some more YouTube reactions. This guy called. Hey. Okay, we'll try for. I'm giving. We will try this number. If it's another person like the last one, we are not going to do it. Okay. I have YouTube content to make. I have to make content tonight too. I have like 3 more videos. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good, man. Good.
Yeah. What do you want to chat about? This is the Joel Law Politics Experience.
All right. So, I'm a Republican now, converted.
Converted.
And I want to talk about Renee Good and Alex Preddy because that's a tough topic and obviously there's 2 deaths that shouldn't have happened, but I'm still behind ICE and behind the. Say what?
What was that?
Oh, okay. I hear my echo. Never mind.
Yeah, mute the stream.
Okay, so basically, I want to know what you think because obviously I know Democrats and liberals, they think that ICE is the worst, ICE is the devil, et cetera, but I still think that those actions were,
the ICE agent
warranted. And I hate that it happened, that those 2 deaths happened, but I still think, the actions were, again, warranted. So what's your
the issue with ICE? So ICE has violated more court orders in the past few months than every federal agency combined has done in their entire existence. ICE has violated the civil rights of like 3,000 Americans in the past like year and a half. Conservative judges have talked about this. So what ICE does, you can see it in the Preddy video and Renee Good. So typically a real police officer, if they think you're doing something wrong and they want to detain you, they will talk to you. They'll say, hey, hands up, get out the vehicle, you're being detained, whatever. Okay, they will talk to you first. The goal of law enforcement is to de-escalate first. Okay, you only escalate when necessary, rising to something. Okay, you want to always de-escalate, especially working with civilian populations. So ICE, in every video you see with them causing issues, whether it's the disabled woman in Minneapolis who they cut out of her car and drug her across the ground. She was in front of Congress. Whether it's the woman who they rammed the car into in Chicago, they called her a domestic terrorist, blamed it on her. The footage showed they rammed her. She did not ram them. They shot her 5 or 7 times, bragged about it to their friends. Like, those people are not held accountable whatsoever. They escalate every time. In Alex Preddy or Renee Good, both situations, the officers give conflicting commands and they escalate right away. They put the American citizens in a situation where they have a split second to react. And any officer that does conduct like that is creating the conditions for something terrible to happen and for violence to happen. So that type of negligence and that thug tactic of walking up to Preddy in that video and pushing the woman first off. If you're detaining a woman, you don't shove her to the ground. Then you don't pepper spray a guy randomly without him doing anything towards you whatsoever. Kick him in the gut and pistol whip him in the head. Take his gun and shoot him, and when he's dead on the ground already, shoot him 4 or 5 more times and refuse to render aid. They counted the bullet holes instead of rendering aid after shooting him. So keeping all of that in mind, ICE is operating as a lawless agency, and none of these agents are being held accountable. The people from Preddy, they were working the very next day. And usually, even if you think it's a fully justified shooting, those officers would take a break from being at work because they need time to mentally recover from killing a man point blank. And they shot him in the back with his hands and knees on the ground like a dog. And they did not get a day off until the public outcry was so immense, like 75% of the population agreed it was unjustified. Then the officers were put on administrative leave, still getting paid. So that is a cumulative idea of why ICE is such an issue right now. And they're tear gassing Americans randomly, pepper spraying Americans. They're using fake administrative warrants to break into American citizens' homes. They're scanning American citizens into a big database to track all of us and to predict where we're going to be and to track our political ideologies. They're using all of this to also expand a surveillance state with lawless federal thugs. And anybody who's a liberal or conservative should be afraid of a unaccountable federal agency that is allowed to be law enforcement to put you in jail and to kill you if they feel like they need to. That's my biggest thing.
Understood. Okay, I okay, I didn't know you said something about the officer working the very next day. That would be responsible. And if that happened, I haven't heard about that, but if that's true, then it would be very responsible from ICE, from authorities, from management to do that, of course. But the thing is, and I understand everything you're telling me about having to de-escalate issues, but on every issue you have to look at both sides. And it is true that the ICE agents, that they are on their seat. They the people say, oh, you're wearing masks. Why are you masked all the time? And as we know, they wear masks because they've been the people have been harassing them, their
That's
families,
false.
et cetera, et
That's
cetera.
fake. That's false. Completely false and fake. It's a fake narrative to justify them having no accountability. Again, that's a fake narrative.
Okay, you know what? That's what I hear, and I don't know if it's
That's
true
what they
or not.
lie about. Okay, I'm sorry, but
Mhm.
there's so many points here that they keep on loading propaganda on top of. They are the first federal agents, the first law enforcement in American streets in American history to wear masks. In American history. Okay, I do not want. They are public facing officers from the state who are carrying paramilitary weaponry in our streets, and they're in unmarked vehicles. They're beating people up. Like, they need to not have a mask on for trust.
Okay.
It makes them safer to not have a mask on.
If that's true, then why Chris Noam approved guys wearing body cams?
Because they had
So-
to, because they shot 2 American citizens within like a week period. They had to do something. They should have had body cams from the start. It's already policy for the DHS,
definitely.
but they were just ignoring the rule.
Absolutely agree.
There's already policy.
Absolutely agree. But if you're
And
saying
I'll be surprised
that
if they
they're
actually
wearing
release
masks,
footage and stuff. But
if you're saying that they're wearing masks because there's no trust and they want to do whatever they want, then Chris Noam wouldn't have order body cams for ICE. So I kind of
after she was
disagree
forced
with
to.
you
But the
on
big
that.
thing about the masking is showing they are above us. They are people who can conceal their identities. They don't got to show you your name. If I live in a state, in a country where any federal agent can have a mask on and walk up to my car and not identify themselves, and what ICE does, they rip people out of their cars. They throw them in vans. They ask questions later. They scan them with a faulty AI phone app to try and identify them. Like, I don't. If the federal government's going to act that way, there will be violence. There will be protesting. There will be federal agents putting people in positions and killing them because they are creating environments that are like war zones for no reason.
I don't know, man. There may be just a few outliers, but I have also heard videos of Hispanic people like me, being stopped by ICE. They say, well, they asked for my papers. I gave them my papers. And it's like, okay, you can go, sir. Have a nice day. So just do what the law enforcement is telling you to do.
Well, to be honest, they don't. Okay.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, because Renee Good and Alex Preddy, when they bark conflicting orders, when their first response is to run up to you and punch you in the gut and pepper spray you in the eyes. At that point, they're just assaulting people for no reason. They're just assaulting women who are carrying their phones, recording them. So, like, when you say just follow their orders, they are giving illegal orders. ICE cannot just tell an American citizen to get out of their car. That's an illegal order. So just follow orders does not really work here. They should be doing targeted immigration enforcement. But to be honest, the Border Patrol is the one cause who did the 2 shootings. Border Patrol is worse than ICE by far. Like, and that's saying something. Like, ICE isn't even, they're different. They're technically different things. Border Patrol is a lot more militarized. But it's just so complicated, man. Like, I'll try to do a video on the article about the court orders they violated. Like,
here's the thing. I do believe that ICE is doing a good job. I also believe that they probably have to be more trained. They should be receiving more training to handle situations like Alex Preddy and Renee Good.
Well, guess how many years they were serving? Those agents that did those shootings were like 5 and 10-year veterans and 12-year veterans of Border Patrol. But they worked for a highly militarized version of Border Patrol. So that was their training. Their training is to do that.
I understand, but here's the thing.
But they're not real law enforcement.
I saw the video. I watched the video of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, and man, if I'm the guy that's in front of a car and this lady just runs me over or attempts to run me over, it's on her. I'm sorry. But you panic.
Why was he in front of a moving vehicle? Why did he walk in front of the car holding a phone in one hand recording? Why was he walking circles around that car? And why, when the car moved forward, did he not jump out of the way? Why did he not look scared at all if he thought he was in danger? Why did he lean into the car to shoot her and then shoot her twice more through the driver's side window, which is physically impossible to be in danger and to shoot somebody through the driver's side window?
Are you really saying that he did that on purpose? So he can shoot the lady? I
think
so.
They escalate situations on purpose with America. On purpose, they escalate situations with Americans and anyone in general. They just escalate situations to a point where violence might happen, and it's against the DHS policy to be in front of a vehicle and to shoot someone operating a vehicle. Why? Like I could not imagine in that Renee Good video where there's one guy telling her to leave, there's one guy running up to her car, like trying to reach into her car to like steal her keys from her, and meanwhile this guy's looping around the car to the front left and is holding his phone, and he never even drops the phone. He switches it to his right hand, gets his gun out, and shoots her once through the windshield. As he leans into the car, he does not get hit. He shoots her twice more through the driver's side window, and then the guy says effing bitch. He doesn't even go to check if she's dead. He walks away and leaves. They don't render aid to her for like 4 minutes.
The effing bitch was said by a different agent, not the guy who.
No, the guy who shot her said effing bitch. There's a video of him, of his body cam.
No, I saw that video.
There's videos of him saying effing bitch. Yeah, no, it was not. It was the guy who did the shooting in Renee Good. It was the guy who did the shooting. I guarantee you. I can look it up right now. Well, you can see there's a video of him saying it and walking away because he walks away fine. Like he's limping a little bit because he's physically deformed because he's a piece of shit. But like when officers are going to be, these are supposedly highly trained federal agents. And if they are going to, wherever they interact with people, let's say, and you said like some ICE are going to be chill, sure. But if 40% of ICE, even like in Minneapolis right now, in Minneapolis, there are 600 police officers. And over the past 12 months, those 600 police officers have retrieved over 900 firearms, and they did not shoot a single person, and officers did not get shot. Meanwhile, ICE agents and Border Patrol had 3,000 agents in Minneapolis compared to 600 police officers. Why would they need, for targeted immigration enforcement, 3,000 federal agents? That seems like a recipe for social unrest, for the police to be stressed and strained. And how the hell do the police seize 900 firearms over the period of 12 months without shooting a single person? And meanwhile, Border Patrol comes in, they purposely put people, maybe not on purpose, they escalate situations and put people in danger, and they kill 2 American citizens within a 2-week period of them being there. Like, how the hell do they come in and say F you to law enforcement, say F you to the locality, say F you to American citizens like that? Why would they need 3,000 federal agents if the goal was not political, to occupy an American city? Like, why would they need that many people?
Yeah, that's debatable. I probably think that, this obviously politics is involved, and probably Trump is trying to, stick it to his rivals. And, whether or not it was a good decision, it was probably, he probably exaggerated sending 3,000 guys to Minneapolis.
Well, I mean, they also called Alex Preddy, Renee Good, trained domestic terrorists moments after they were killed.
Well,
the federal government called them that. They called them assassins. They called Preddy an assassin. The federal government lying about American citizens, like the federal government calling an American citizen who was just killed in a murder that 75% of Americans agree is bad, like Preddy, for example, because the numbers on that are very clear. The idea that federal agents came out and top administration of the president and his lackeys came out to say these are domestic terrorists and assassins, that should be enough to have riots to get them out of office, to impeach them. Like, there should be a vote to impeach instantly in any rational world. If Joe Biden did that shit, I'd be out there with a pitchfork. But for some reason, like, Trump can just do it and call American citizens. Like, we should have some pride as Americans that the federal government cannot make unfounded fake claims and send in the federal agents to overpower our police officers. Like, what happened to MAGA being pro-police? And the police were begging for weeks and weeks for them to leave. Like, the police were begging. The local police were begging for ICE to leave, and they would not listen. And they still have 2,000 federal agents there. And I'm sorry for taking up so much talking time. It's just there's so many complicated things
No,
here that the White House just lies about over and over and over again. And this will get more people killed. And if we accept the idea that federal agents in unmarked vehicles can come scan our face whenever they want to and just break down our front door with fake administrative warrants, then none of us are safe. They could walk up to your house right now and claim you're an illegal or claim you're harboring an illegal and just write something they could scribble on a piece of paper and break into your home. And that's the legal argument they are making. No judge involved, no nothing. They could just break into your home, detain you for 2 months. And if they do that, if ICE broke into your house, shot your animals and detained you and beat the shit out of you, they just fractured a guy's skull in 8 places 2 weeks ago. And they claimed he ran into a wall, which is physically impossible. They beat the shit out of this guy. Obviously, all the doctors agree. Like it's so obvious. They will not get charged for it. They will not lose their jobs. They will not go to jail. And if you're going to have federal agents be able to do that stuff and not be held accountable whatsoever, you're giving a free license for them to kill. And maybe they don't. Maybe they don't always do the worst thing possible. But unaccountable federal agents with a license to carry a gun into our communities seems like the biggest threat to American freedom you can possibly have. And I'll give you some time to talk about this.
Okay. No, I understand. So I heard you. I'll give you that this was probably poorly handled. Again, more training, more awareness. That needed to happen. But in the end, saying that villainizing ICE because of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, I don't agree with it, because to me, in the end, they are law enforcement. I watch the videos. They're giving orders. People are not listening, and if you don't listen, you get what you get. And I think that death, Renee Good, is obviously so sad. But I think it was justified. Watching the video, it's just really not going against.
Even if you think it's justified, do you think the law enforcement, by escalating, by running up to her, by giving conflicting orders, by walking around her car, do you think law enforcement put them in a situation? You can say it's a justified shooting because you're very pro immunity for law enforcement, but do you think the feds created a dangerous situation there with how they approached it by walking in front of a car? That's like law enforcement 101. Don't walk in front of a moving car.
Yes. Again, it could have been, handled differently, and poorly handled. And
for Alex Preddy, if you watch the full video before it happened too, they tell the one woman to walk across the street. Okay. She eventually does disperse. They follow her, shove her to the ground, and pepper spray Preddy when there's no other. It's just, if you.
I watched the video.
What if, for example, what if you had a speeding ticket and it's at night and you have a speeding ticket and the cop doesn't walk up and say, hey, your license, registration, whatever. They don't give a badge number, whatever. They come up with a mask on, sprint up to your door, start pulling on the door handle and saying, get out of the fucking car. If that happened to me, I would think I'm being carjacked by a cartel. Yeah. I would think, and that's how ICE acts. So when I see American citizens drive away, I don't blame them. When I see them shoot American citizens 7 times, lie about it, and brag about it, I don't blame Americans for being afraid of them. If and then they pepper spray you in the face. How can you even react to their commands and orders if they're going to act like savages? They act like wild dogs. You can't get near them to try and pet them because they might bite you. I don't want federal agents who act like rabid animals.
I understand, and that's true, but there's a big but there, and it's the fact that they've been attacked left and right, and the Democrat leaders are telling people, go out and go against ICE. Go
record them. Go definitely record them. Yeah, they're hiding evidence. They're lying to people. They're shooting American citizens and lying about it. They're calling them terrorists.
That sounds good.
That's the First Amendment.
As a leader, that's irresponsible.
No, that's the First Amendment. That's your First Amendment right to record them.
I understand. No, but hear me out. But it is, yes, you're right. But it's an irresponsible thing to tell everybody, go against the law enforcement, because some people do not understand that they're just, they're just gonna film and record with their phones. They're just gonna cross the line.
No,
And
but
that's
the
what
issue
happened.
the issue is not the American citizens exercising their First Amendment right. The issue is the federal rogue agency breaking the law left and right, doing illegal activities nonstop, disregarding state and local rights. That is the issue. That is the
Well,
first issue.
I
People's
understand.
protesting in
I
response.
understand that
That is not the
and
issue.
that's a conversation for a different time, I guess. But I'm just talking about exactly about Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Just
And the
those
ICE
two
agents, when
taken
have you
separately.
seen, like, there's not, out of all the stuff ICE has done, all the people they've beaten up, all the kids they've captured and tear gassed and pepper sprayed and whatever, they say they go after the worst of the worst. All these drug cartels. Trump said there's terrorist cells in America. Can you find one video over the past year of ICE having a shootout with a drug cartel in America? Like in these apartments in Colorado they claim they occupied? Like, is there one video of them that we can find that they're not raiding American citizens' apartments or beating up random American citizens? Like, where's all these videos of them going after violent criminals if that's really the goal? And they call American citizens domestic terrorists after they shoot them unjustifiably. But
Well,
look up
I
Miramar.
understand. Yeah,
Look
there's
up
no
Miramar
video.
Martinez.
There's no.
Look up that, because yeah, there is video and they have to release it for that.
Okay. I'll look it up. But the thing is, what were the numbers that out of 40,000, at least a good 10% or something were real criminals, and the other
Right
just
now,
illegal?
out of who ICE has arrested so far, and DHS, the DHS numbers leaked, only 14% of those who they detained have been charged with a violent crime. Crime. Now, 40 to 50% have a criminal record, so maybe illegal reentry, which is a criminal offense. But the other 50 to 40%, or 40 to 50%, are people who are either seeking asylum, they're under protective status, they overstay a work visa, or they come in doing something else, and it's a civil violation because it's their first time crossing. So usually it's like 80% criminals and maybe 90% criminal and like 5%, like under Obama and even Trump term 1, it was like 80 or 90% criminal and 5% non-criminal. Now the numbers are so high with non-criminals, and the numbers of US citizens detained and the number of people dying in ICE custody are at all-time highs in American history. I know I'm not going to go on much longer here, but my big fear here is that Republicans are going to be okay with this because they're going after blue cities. And I know Republicans in Minneapolis who are like, they will do anything for Trump. They would give their wives up to Trump for a night if Trump demanded it. But dude, they had ICE come in their community. They went anti-ICE so damn quick once they saw ICE in person. It's just been my experience so far. Even the furthest right Trump supporters all across the country, if ICE ends up, and I'm from like a 90% Trump county. There was a guy from Mexico who owned a pizza shop. He had a work permit. And he was super loved in the community, did a bunch of charity. He got ripped out of his home one day by ICE with guns for no reason, like 10 people just going after him. And now even in these small communities, ICE is becoming so unpopular because it's like, why are they sending 10 armed people to go after this random pizza shop owner? We love this guy. Like, he's not a criminal. He's here on a work visa. Like, they should be coming to help him fill out his papers. He's known in the community. He has no criminal record, whatever. So everywhere ICE touches, people hate ICE. And I think that is not, like, I have the data, I have all that kind of stuff. But when you can kind of track how you would feel, like how I as an American citizen feel if I see federal agents driving outside with fully blacked out tinted windows, masks on, and they're just they're arresting people over accents and skin color. I don't want that in my community or anywhere near my community. So even just from like if you take politics out of it, how do I want my community to feel? This is not how I want America to be. I'll give you a final word here. I appreciate the call. And I definitely encourage you to call in again, in a week or whatever else if another story pops up. And again, it's random who I answer. It's all random who I answer. I appreciate the call. And I'll give you a final word here just to respond to what I said.
Okay, so it's tough. I mean, I hear you. I'm really open-minded. I want to say if what you're saying is true about they ripping out people left and right just like that. That's not what I've heard. But if that's true, then that's not right. That's not right. But out of the numbers, hey, if it's 14% of an operation, it's just 14% is good. It's a lot of people that are evil and they're just out of the streets. That's fantastic. But it's probably a little bit too rushed, and again, more training, more awareness. But I don't know, man. I'm going to look into that, but I still support ICE and again, Alex Preddy and Renee Good.
Just really quick. I'm sorry.
But they just brought that upon themselves.
Okay, well that's really messed up because the federal agents are the ones who created the bad situation, and they were exercising rights. But regardless, okay. 14 Trump ran for president, and this is why Trump is losing, like Andrew Schultz, all these centrist podcasters, and many independents. His independent polling is like -40 right now. He ran on the idea that he was going to hyper focus immigration enforcement to target violent criminals. He said they are in our communities, they are dangerous terrorist cells. The idea that 14% of the total people he's detaining being criminals, that is why he's so unpopular now on immigration, on the issue of immigration. He's pretty popular on the border, but on immigration, 14% being violent criminals, that was supposed to be the only thing he was going after hardcore. Most Americans agree with a pathway to citizenship for everybody else who is just here and they overstayed a visa, But hey, I appreciate the call. Thank you for engaging in the conversation. I do appreciate it.
Hey, man. Thank you for taking my call. Nice talking to you.
All right, thank you. Have a great night.
Okay, you too, man. Bye.
Peace. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I burped by accident into the microphone. I'm sorry if you heard that. I do apologize. I'm very sorry. Please subscribe. Thank you for $5. Sri on Venmo. Thank you, Sri, for $5 on Venmo. Thank you. I really appreciate it. But yeah. And yeah, when you see people who are not white and they need to carry their passports 24/7, and we live in a society that's all papers, please, where the federal agent can tell you to prove your citizenship every time you walk outside. And I know the whiteys in suburbia might not be experiencing this yet being the key word. Even knowing people who are going through this, you would probably feel a type of way. It's a normal human thing to be upset about. To not even be upset about, to feel a threat from the government being corrupt and authoritarian. It's a reasonable thing to be, to think is a great threat to our freedom in general. All right, I can probably use that call for a YouTube video. I don't want to talk that long in these videos. I really don't, but there's so many claims made. It's so, oh God. It's just like, and there's so many layers to each situation, like the Preddy stuff. Like, oh, he put himself in that situation. Well, if you're protesting the government, which the right wing has done this extensively during COVID, they had their ARs out protesting in front of the state capitol in Michigan and stuff. If the cops would have walked up to those men and pepper sprayed them and punched them randomly because they had firearms, like they're justifying for Preddy, like it would never fly, and it should not fly. But all right, guys, I might shut down calls for now. Maybe. I had 2 more YouTube videos to make. I'm getting a little sleepy, unless if I make it tomorrow. Let me see if I have something I should make for tonight. I want to I want to get them uploaded. Where is Kid Rock on Fox News? Because I feel like, or was that before when Kid Rock talked on Fox News? Kid Rock, Jay-Z. When did Kid Rock call Jay-Z a DEI hire? The All-American Halftime Show. Do you miss your kids? Do you not understand why your wife divorced you? You'll love her halftime show. You'll love her halftime show. Kid Rock likes young ladies. Kid Rock likes young ladies. Kid Rock likes a young ladies. What the with the fake yawn? Shut the hell up, dude. It's a real freaking yawn. It's 1 a.m., you dipshit. What the hell? Now I get judged on my yawns? Holy shit. Gay.
Hello?
Hi, this is Jola from Jola Politics. How are you?
I'm all right.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, I just, this is the first time I've seen your channel. Just subscribe.
Cool.
I noticed you were just talking to the other guy. I just caught the tail end of that conversation. But, okay, so I listen to, I'm a Republican, but I listen to liberals or Democrats that seem smarter because they have the ability to actually articulate their real views. But the only thing that always gets me is whenever they intentionally misrepresent stuff.
Okay.
So like we were just talking about stuff with illegal immigration. It's not like they're not deporting people just because of their skin color. Like that's not true. They're deporting people because of their legal status.
No, not deportations.
You can say that they detain people or they stop people to talk to them because of their skin color or their accent, but they don't.
Yeah. No, that's the bad part, though. So if a federal agent can look at you or look at anybody and say, based off your skin color, based off how you sound, I can now ask you for your papers, and you got to have your passport ready. It's like papers, please, in front of a Target somewhere. And I know somebody who is not white and they have an accent and they're an American citizen and they don't have their passport. The idea that the government can just go up to an American citizen, demand papers, and then detain them if they don't have papers on them. That papers, please type society. I think many Americans should be against that.
What state are you? Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, stop an ID state?
I mean, anywhere ICE is right now, you can watch videos of them in Minnesota. One went viral with a Uber driver, a Somali American Uber driver, and they literally said to him, like, hey, we are checking your immigration because of your accent. Like, they say this over and over and over again. They're detaining based on accent, and that racial profiling, ethnic profiling, whatever you want to call it, I think should be illegal. I think it is illegal. There's some court cases moving through to decide the final, legal standing on that. But I don't want to live in a society where the feds can do that. We have rights in America.
I thought it was illegal too, but I thought the Supreme Court had a case recently where they decided that it wasn't. I don't know.
Well, yeah, there's a Kavanaugh opinion. They're calling them Kavanaugh stops because Kavanaugh said they should be able to do it based off these different reasons, but they would not racially profile. Yeah, but I would say the Supreme Court, if they would say it's legal in America for federal agents to do that, they're wrong, and we need different judges in there.
They said it could be part of the reason. One of the other reasons I think they said was due to the high propensity of illegals in the area or types of areas where they tend to hang out. But I mean, we have stop and ID, like there's stop and ID states where they can stop an ID. They can just ask, and like for no reason, they can just ask you for your ID.
Usually the standard for law enforcement would be some type of reasonable suspicion or some.
Yeah, that's usually their policy, but it's not illegal for them.
Yeah,
to stop an ID.
But that's one big thing about America, because as Americans, we pride ourselves on the idea the government cannot just come demand papers from us. Or like if you're in a state where you can open carry a gun, they can't walk up and demand to take your gun just because they think you look like you're dangerous or whatever. Like we have rights enshrined in the Constitution.
They can't ask for your permits to make sure.
Yeah, but if there's no permit, for example, they can't just ask for your permit if there's no reason to suspect any illegal activity, and it depends what state you're in. But just in general, when you have laws on the book, and there's videos of them detaining 17-year-old American citizen, that citizen from Target, randomly because he was recording them and just talking crap to them because they were like chasing him down. They put him in a van, like roughed him up and dropped him off 15 miles away from that Target. Look up one good one to look up is Miramar, I think it's Miramar Martinez. So in Chicago, ICE agents claimed she rammed her car into them and called her a domestic terrorist. And then the footage released proved that ICE agents are the ones that rammed their car into her. Then they shot her, I think it was 5 total times. She had 7 holes in her body. They shot her, said she's a domestic terrorist. They took her to the hospital, took pictures of her, and a guy, an ICE agent, a federal agent, ICE agent, bragged about how many times he shot her because he's such a good shot in the text message. Yeah, how many holes he got. And that person, we're lucky that she was able to survive and is now pushing to get the evidence released. But that's happening all across the country where they're just like ramming in the cars. They're doing illegal stop methods. They have violated more court orders in the past few months than most federal agencies have in their entire existence. So they're routinely breaking the law. And they're doing it.
Well,
did you see the administrative warrants too, where they just come into your house with no real judicial warrant?
That's being challenged now. I don't think they can do that.
That seems scary though. That seems like a huge threat to our rights if they're able to do that. The fact they even want to is scary.
Well, I don't think the fact that they want to is scary, but I think if they were told that they couldn't and they still tried to, that would be. But almost every single, I can't think of a single court order where they actually violated after the court order was sent down, that afterwards a higher court didn't reject. So like, there's been plenty of court cases where initially like a district judge or something.
Well, I mean, they did it the first day of Trump's presidency. The first couple of weeks of Trump's presidency, they did, like with the El Salvador concentration camp.
They sent the guy. It was
the illegal deportation.
When they said they come back.
No, but when that
happened,
happened,
he had to come back. They said that they would let him come back. It didn't say they had to make him. They said they had to facilitate.
No, I'm saying that there was a court order before the plane left the ground to go there with.
No, it was already in the air, but
no, it was not. Even if it was in the air, that still would not make it legal. The Supreme Court ruled the Supreme Court. Remember, the Supreme Court ruled on this 9-0 against Trump and ICE. 9-0.
Yeah, and Trump said okay.
They ruled on the fact that it was illegal to begin with. It was a violation of due process to begin with, and ICE violated multiple court orders there on that issue alone. And they still lied about Abrego Garcia. They called him a child predator and all this stuff, unfounded, no evidence of it whatsoever. They have violated thousands. I don't have a list of it right now, but that is a blatant one. They just violated a court order with a girl who was attending college in America. She's deported to like Honduras. And there's a court order to not deport her there, but they still did. So like there's stories all over the place. They're doing it at a historically high amount. And the administrative warrants, I am concerned they want to do that. I am concerned that they invented this administrative warrant where an ICE agent can get a little scribble pad and put their initials down, and therefore now they can break inside your home. No, that's the issue.
Administrative. No, it's an executive branch appointed administrative judge.
No, it's not a judge. It's ICE agents signing it themselves. It's literally ICE agents having a paper and putting their own names down. That's what the issue is. It's not a judge because that would be a judicial warrant. Or you can argue that they're
technically they're not judges. It's the same way an immigration judge isn't technically a judicial branch.
No,
judge.
Look it up. Look up the actual judicial. Look up the administrative warrants they're using. It is literally the ICE agent themselves signing it. It's not an immigration judge. It's the ICE agent signing it. The agents themselves are signing it before breaking in the homes.
But they have the authority to do that. Like it's not every.
I would disagree because the idea that the executive branch can just if the executive branch can simply. That's not. This was a new thing that has just been invented for Trump and this ICE. This was never used in this capacity where ICE agents themselves were walking outside of houses and walking in private residences. That was never happening before. So the fact that they want to do that is a great threat to American freedom, in my opinion, because then at that point you don't have rights. If they can just walk in your home, and then if you can still carry, then the FBI director Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, they now said you're a threat to them if you carry. So now you have a higher chance of being shot by them if you're exercising your Second Amendment right. So you look down at the Bill of Rights, if they're taking it bit by bit.
In Minnesota, if you don't have your ID, then you lose your concealed carry permit. You're actually carrying illegally if you don't have your ID on you if you're concealed carry, and if you interfere with a federal officer, then that is also a felony. If you interfere with a federal law enforcement agent and during their duties, that's illegal. That's a felony. Then you're automatically.
But if you're standing there recording a federal agent and they get mad you're recording and they walk over and shove you to the ground, pepper spray you, and pistol whip your head and kick you in the gut, and then shoot you in the back when your hands and legs are on the ground. For Alex Preddy.
You just mixed them up. You just mixed everything up.
No, for Preddy.
Alex Preddy. No, they pushed the lady down.
They pushed a lady down, then they pepper sprayed Alex Preddy.
Longer video where they asked her to back up. They said, y'all can stand at the cars. Do not come any closer. That is a lawful order. When they continued to do that, they were forcibly moved back.
Then she moved back.
And Alex Preddy,
she already moved back across the road. Why did they shove her? Why did they shove her to the ground? Why did they? Because she was not. She fell on the snowbank on the side of the road on the sidewalk.
You can play the video right now.
She was next to a parked car. She was next to a parked car.
She was in the road. They said they're staying on the sidewalk. You cannot be in the road. They said that multiple times. There's earlier.
When a cop or law enforcement gives you a lawful order and you don't follow it, let's say they wanted her to move and she kept recording and they didn't like it, even if that were true, and yeah, that's the point. They don't arrest people. They don't arrest people. ICE does this all the time, though, everywhere. They don't arrest people. They beat the shit out of them, whether justified or not. And in many cases, it's not. Like the one I told you about where they shot the girl 5 times.
I saw that video. There may have been another.
Well, that video's not out yet. That video's not out yet. It's the Miramar Martinez
one. I saw another one where they tried to say that where the cop they sat there and they shot into the car and they tried a short video where it looked like the ICE was in the wrong, but then they showed a longer video and the lady pushed the car, like the ICE officer's car.
In the video with Preddy, the way the officer engages is you have one person walking over, shoves the woman, and then Preddy is like leans over to like say, "Hey, what's up?" to help her up. And then if we have the agent at that point, if you think that's enough to pepper spray you point blank in the eyes and push you to the ground at that point, and then
I don't agree with it. I think it's unjustified shooting, but everything up until that was justified. I think you cannot interfere with federal. Like, listen, so you see videos all the time with cops just for touching a cop or getting too close to them. They arrest people all the time for it. I don't know why.
But the issue is when you have 3,000 federal agents in your city, the ICE agents are occupying the city. So everyday life is going to be integrated with ICE agents. So like they can just claim you're impeding on a federal investigation or whatever.
But
they have said this and lied about it. But if you're going to have an agency lie about that, they're going to lie about the woman they shot in Chicago multiple times, saying she rammed into their car when they rammed into her car. And they're going to lie about shooting her and brag about shooting her. They will lie about a lot of this stuff. So you can't take their word for it. All you see in the video, what you see in the video is a woman being shoved to the ground. If they want to arrest somebody, arrest them. Okay, arrest them. Detain them like an actual official law enforcement. They attack people like they're rabid dogs in these situations. They don't talk. They don't communicate. They don't say hands up. They don't say hands behind your back. They walk up and push them like they're in a high school, like they're in a recess fight. In that video of Alex Preddy, they walk over and shove her to the ground. I saw the video beforehand too.
Longer video.
They have not. They did not try to detain her.
Yeah, I'm talking about the longer video.
A cop cannot just punch you in the face. It's not even safe for either party. A cop cannot just punch. If a cop comes up to you and wants to detain, if a cop wants to detain you from a traffic stop, they can't just punch you in the face and pepper spray you. They can't do that.
No, they can't. No, but
and it's bad for their safety too.
But no, they can't. You're right. But when you start violating lawful orders and disregarding them and continuing to interfere with their operations.
No, even if you disregard a lawful order. And by the way, in this situation where Alex Preddy is recording, there's no evidence that Alex Preddy is impeding a federal investigation. In that video, he seems pretty chill. The conduct of the officers where they the pepper spraying him in the face, getting him to the ground. He's on his hands and knees. There's 7 different guys on him.
So did he not walk up and get in between the officer and the lady?
He was already standing there, and she was pushed to the ground next to him. No, I would hope any self-respecting man who sees a woman being shoved to the ground by anybody their first physical reaction is going to be to help her up. I don't want to have to
get arrested.
Yeah, get arrested. Sure, arrest them. But you should not be so scared to be a normal human being around federal agents as if they're rabid dogs. That's the issue here. No, they should not be rabid dogs.
Here, like, you wouldn't say this about anything. You can watch I watched
He wasn't interfering when he goes to pick her up. He's not interfering. It's not legal to go shove the woman to the ground. But the issue is, can I have 5 seconds here? 5 seconds. They walk up, they shove her first to the ground. All right, we agree. Should not be doing that. As a man, I think you should not be treating a woman like that. In the video with the engagement that led to the shooting. Okay, I don't give a shit that they got commands to not record as close as they were recording. They were not physically.
They didn't give commands.
Okay, give me a second. Give me 1 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 second. Okay. If they're asked to move across the road and they keep on recording on the road and they want them to move further away, okay, and then they walk towards them and they start moving away to the other side of the road, then the federal agent comes and pushes her on the ground to say, F you should have moved sooner, okay? And then the Alex Freddie guy, that is what happened in the video.
In that part of the video, yes, but they kept repeatedly crossing the street. The officers would force them back. You saw the video where they did that to Alex Petty, and there was multiple people standing there. They told him not to come over there. Alex Petty kept coming over there, and every time the officers would push them back, tell them to get back. That wasn't the first time that they kept disregarding lawful orders. That's why I say they should just arrest them like regular police do. But why are they there in the first place? Because sanctuary cities will not.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know what that means. You don't know what that means. You don't know what that means at all. You don't know what that means whatsoever.
What?
If they were going to arrest somebody, they would be detaining them. They would be having actual official. They would have actual equipment to detain them. They would do real things to detain them. They would not walk up and sucker punch somebody, pepper spray him in the eyes, push him to his knees, take his gun from him, and shoot him in the back when his hands and knees are on the ground like a dog.
That's why I said they should detain him instead.
They don't even 11 days before when he kicked out the taillight from the car, they beat the shit out of him and did not detain him again, right? They did not detain him.
Just detain them. That's why I said
why are they not? Why is ICE beating people up and not detaining? Why are they not actually doing law enforcement? If they're getting investigations, maybe they're lying about the facts of the case, just like they're lying about all the shootings.
You just said when they.
Then why are they so scared of an investigation? Why are they blocking local and state police from investigating if they're so confident that's on video?
Well, why would they assist the state in the investigation when the state won't assist?
The feds are blocking. The feds are blocking the state and the local police from engaging in the investigation.
And the state is blocking the federal agents from arresting people from their jails.
And that's not true. That's not true. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. But again, the killing of an American citizen, the federal government iced out, blocked the local and state police of that jurisdiction. That never happens. Why would they be so scared of evidence?
It just happens with the state.
Why are they so afraid of evidence that the local police are not trusted to be involved?
They're not afraid of evidence.
Then why are the local and state police not welcome to be involved? Local investigators are not welcome to be involved. State investigators are not involved. Why are the feds restricting? The feds did not even let the FBI get involved. They made it be a DHS internal investigation so they could investigate themselves. Now they are because of the enormous public pressure, but that's probably fake too. Why is their initial, if they're so confident that this was so, that this justified pepper spraying a guy, pushing a woman to the ground, beating the shit out of him, shooting him in the back, and then they talk about then they talk about like, oh, he had a gun on him, and you cannot carry a gun at protests. When right wingers, that's like a main thing they do.
No, yes, you can. That's not what they said. They said you can't carry a gun and interfere with lawful with.
There's no evidence he was interfering. There's no evidence he was interfering. There's no evidence whatsoever he was interfering. He was not interfering with anything. They walked over and shoved him to the ground.
Play the video on screen.
I'm not looking up the video right now. Well, everybody saw the video. Everybody saw the video. I trust the audience that they saw the video. I trust that they saw the video.
If you tried to do what he did, you would be arrested.
What did he do? What did he do? Wait, what did he do?
Well, okay, so when a police officer is engaging with somebody, you cannot walk over there and try to help the person and then get in between them and stop the officer turn towards him.
He never did that. Wait, I thought. Wait, no. What was he doing before that entire situation to impede the investigation or the federal operation?
On the road. Disregarding.
Okay, so being on the road, so it's a lawful. So if I'm recording an ICE agent and they say you can't record me, get off the road. No, it's not a crime scene. It was not a crime scene. They were looking for the wrong guy too.
Well, it was a crime scene. They could have been looking for the wrong guy, but it was a crime scene.
It was not a crime scene. That's not how that works.
It was.
How do you think sanctuary cities work? How do you think sanctuary cities work?
They're all different, but most cases it just means that they don't cooperate with federal immigration operations.
It's not about
any way.
Yeah, so like if it's a criminal investigation about a violent criminal, they do work together. But if
Some of them do, yeah.
if it's them going after just a random person who overstayed a visa, then the local police are not going to use resources for that.
Overstaying a visa is a federal crime.
So like the police there in the sanctuary city would not go and help somebody go find someone who's seeking asylum.
They don't. Wait. Weren't you saying something about respecting?
When it comes to violent, with a sanctuary city, when it comes to violent crime, the police would work with ICE on getting a violent criminal.
Yes.
Yeah, many do, but the Republicans talk about it, and you said it in a sense that they let criminals go.
Yeah, they do. You literally just said they don't arrest visas. People that overstay their visas.
A visa overstay is not a criminal offense. That's not a criminal offense.
Look it up right now. Yes,
we went over this earlier on stream. We already did this.
Yeah.
If you overstay a work visa, it's a permitting issue. Okay, it's not a criminal offense. A criminal offense is higher than a permitting issue. So a criminal offense is, for example, re-entry is a criminal offense, but not a visa overstay.
No, it's a visa. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Look it up.
Okay.
I mean, it's federal immigration law. It is a criminal offense. But they won't. You said earlier only 14% of violent criminals. That's true. But 70% of those arrested are have either been convicted of a crime, served their sentences for a crime.
Okay, here you go. Law Enforcement Immigration Task Force. Okay. All right. So we talk about crimes and immigrant violation. Okay. Many violations of immigration law, such as unlawful presence or overstaying one's visa, are not criminal offenses, but civil offenses with immigration consequences, including removal and being barred from reentry. Okay? It's not a criminal offense. It's not a criminal offense. A criminal offense would be reentry, illegal reentry. Okay? But if you overstay a visa, it's a civil offense.
The Visa Overstays Penalty Act. Do you know what that is?
Right now, overstaying a visa is a civil offense.
Penalty Act. Do you know what that is? The Visa Overstays Penalty Act. First-time overstay violations can now result in federal criminal charges. HR 2436. So yes, it is. Anyway.
Wait, it's not. That's not passed. It's not a law. It's not a law.
Yes, it is.
It's a proposed law. It's a proposed law.
Is it?
Yeah, it's proposed. It's not a law. So like right now, it's still a civil offense. And even if let's say they passed a new law for that, and somebody overstayed a visa a few months ago, let's say they passed this law, then it would still be a civil offense. They still did not. They're not a criminal. When we talk about criminals, we talk about public safety threats, in my opinion. When it comes to sanctuary cities, public safety threats are focused on, okay? They focus on public safety threats. They focus on the 14% that are actually violent criminals. The local police should not be draining resources to go after a random kid outside of elementary school whose parents are immigrants. And most Americans agree with that.
Kids.
They go after, yes, they do. They are camping outside of preschools and elementary schools in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. Yes, it is. The
only time that they have done that was if they were waiting for somebody that was going to pick them up that people have deportation orders.
There's ICE agents who tried getting into schools in Florida, Minneapolis. There's some in they do go into schools illegally, and they ask to see kids without parental consent to take them. That's one issue. That's one reason why Minnesota is protesting so hard. Yeah, because they're camping outside of high schools. That's one big thing they're doing.
Parents have already been detained.
Sometimes not. Sometimes. Like that one, there's the one kid that was detained randomly, without the parents, and they used the kid as bait. But okay.
Well, that was because his dad ran away when he should have just stayed. I know he's scared because the things that the Democrats tell him, they say that they're just everybody's gonna be deported. Doesn't matter if you have a legal status, blah blah blah. Even though apparently he had a work authorization, so. That's just what I've read. I don't know if all the details.
Yeah, he has a work authorization. So when you talk about the stuff Democrats say, and we look at these immigration facilities, they're being fed food with worms in it. They're being made to sleep in their own fecal matter in these facilities, in these detention centers, in these concentration camps. Okay, so when we talk about, it's not a Democratic hoax. It's not a hoax. Okay, It's not a
I didn't
hoax.
say that was.
They
I
have
didn't say
a
anything about
work
that.
permit in America. They were still sent to these camps, to these detention centers. Liam Ramos and his
I'm saying
father. And
he
right now, guess
he
what?
was
A
saying he
judge
ran.
got them
Only reason he ran
released.
was because we're
A
Democrats.
judge got them released. Okay, and now the Trump admin is making it a top priority to deport them as quickly as possible. Why? A person here authorized to work, not a criminal. Why is that a main focus now?
Just because a judge stays somebody's deportation.
No, the
doesn't
Trump
mean that they're
admin
not
with the
still-
executive power,
I'm saying,
they are
yeah,
funneling
no,
the
the
case
judge
through certain
that-
judges.
Yeah, just like the Democrats do. But just because it's stayed doesn't mean that that they're allowed, like that they're. If somebody can have a deportation order
On a
the
human
judge can still
ground,
deport
they
them
did not have a
legally.
deportation order. Okay, they're
I'm not
authorized
saying
to be
they-
here
I'm
on a
not
work
saying they do.
permit. Why is that now a top priority to get this kid, this 5-year-old kid, and his father, who is legally here, out of the country? Why is it not violent
Well, I don't know.
criminals? Why is their main
I don't know all the
focus?
details on his.
Yeah, I know you don't know
but
the
like
details
with-
that don't fit your narrative.
on him,
I'm not gonna.
on him, but with our Abrego Garcia, the judge said the same thing, but he did have an order of deportation. Then the judge.
How
tried
did
to say
Abrego
that
Garcia stay in America after
Listen,
he was?
Okay, so then the judge tried to say that the first judge didn't like he said they had a stay did a stay of deportation order, and then it was revoked or whatever, and the new judge tried to say that the old judge didn't sign that. So the Trump administration went to the old judge, and the old judge put it in writing.
Originally,
that is exactly what he did.
Abrego Garcia was able to get a work permit in 2019 under Trump. I'm pretty sure it was 2018 or 2019. So he was in America because a Trump judge allowed him to be in America. He was here legally under a work permit.
After that, he was had a deportation order.
Well, he always had that
that
order for removal, but he kept on getting work permits to stay here.
Yeah, he got a stay order of removal. Then he got another one that it went back the other way and said no, he does have to leave.
Yeah, but he got a work permit.
Go back
But that's at the discretion of the executive branch largely. So like if they want to change and different courts. So like for Abrego Garcia, they claimed he was here illegally. Not at one point was he here illegally as a illegal immigrant. He was never here at that, but they still called him an illegal immigrant, although he had a work permit. Why would they lie about that?
Because he was ordered to be deported. So
no, he had a work permit. Okay, listen again. He had a work permit to be in America, given first by the Trump admin. Why would they lie and say he's here illegally if he's going to all of his check-ins? He's following the legal process. He's meeting with ICE and DHS at all the right check-ins. He gets his work permit renewed every year. Why did they call him an illegal if he's doing all the right steps to have a work permit?
You can have the superintendent in Virginia had a work permit. He was the superintendent, and he was still here illegally.
Why did they? If you have a work permit, you're not here illegally because you have a permit. You're permitted to be in America based on work. Can you listen to yourself talk for a second? You have a work permit.
There was literally
lets you be in America.
It just happened. Police officer.
No, but again, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but you have a work permit that gives you the ability to be in America. That's the purpose of it, right?
No. It allows you to work while you're here.
Okay.
That's separate. It's separate from like your visa status or your asylum claim status.
It gives you a right to. It gives you the ability to be
in
in America, though. You're not an illegal immigrant because you're getting documentation from the federal government saying you're able to work. So you're not here illegally. Because if you're here illegally, then you're not able to get a work permit. They would not approve you for one if you're here illegally. If you re-entered illegally. So he was not an illegal immigrant. That's how he was able to pay taxes. He was able to be here and live here and pay taxes, and he was becoming like a sheet metal apprentice or whatever. So he was not an illegal immigrant.
Okay, well, we'll see whenever the court.
Okay, I'm running out of gas for this conversation. I appreciate it. It is getting late. We've been going for a decent amount of time now. Is there anything else you want to? Well, I don't want to start any new conversations, but you can have your last word here.
It's good. I was just gonna say my mind's changed a lot on this stuff recently because I just moved up to LaGrange and I work in a new warehouse, and there's literally one of like 5 Americans that work there. The owners are South Korean, and all the workers are from Venezuela, Guatemala, Nicaragua. They don't even speak English. They're all here illegally, but I would never. Like I wish they would like figure out how to get where they could stay legally. They're going through their asylum claims. A lot of them have missed their court dates. Been trying to help them figure out how to work around that or figure out how they can stay. Anyway, I wish it's always just little stuff. Like y'all will be, I listen to you guys, and a lot of the stuff y'all be saying I agree with, and then y'all will say one thing or like you'll misrepresent something. It could be the smallest thing, but it's like just misrepresent the whole nature of an argument, like with one word or something, and it pisses me off for the rest of the conversation, and I can't even listen to the actual good points that y'all have.
Hey,
So,
it's a part of
I wish I would
talking as adults. People are gonna have, people are gonna have different things like that. And if you disagree with anybody, yeah, if you disagree with somebody by nature, that's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen because you disagree.
Not on the point. I mean, like the representation of where the other side's coming from, or the like misrepresenting the other side's point, like in the worst way possible.
Well, you both have a viewpoint of how it works, and one of you might be right, and you might change your mind later and say I'm right, or I might change my mind later and say you're right. So it could just be
on the fact.
It might not be misrepresenting something if you just disagree on your interpretation of it, or if you wait for investigations to come out. One thing just to keep in mind. Okay, so ICE and DHS, they have a budget now. It's huge. They ballooned it.
Yep.
It's the 13th largest military in the world. If it was a military, it's bigger than the entire Israeli military's budget, including the money we give them. They have spent millions and billions on new detention centers, on new ways to do facial recognition technology, on new ways to detain, people, on new surveillance networks, whatever. They have not spent $1 or 1 second on improving the immigration system to make it make sense, because it's broken. It's been broken for a while. And with all those resources, I want those for future presidents, when Democrats run again, and hopefully they run someone good, I want them to be able to say, all this money we're spending, we could be doing it for more productive things. And I hope we can talk, if you could call in again sometime, we can talk about that more. But hey, I appreciate the call. I hope you have a good night, man. I do appreciate the the conversation.
Yeah. Good.
All right, have a good one. Okay, thank you for watching. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you guys. Have a good night. I'm tired now. Thank you for the super chats and all that kind of stuff. ICE has facial recognition technology that FBI does not even have. Yeah, that's tough. Thank you, Jeffrey, for 50 joules. Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you. If you donated to me on Cash App or Venmo, I'm not going to see it until I plug my phone back in. My phone died. But hey, I really appreciate the calls and viewership and all that kind of stuff. I have a video I want to make about Hassan Piker and Zoran Mamdani. I'll save that till tomorrow. There was another video about Kid Rock, but I'm not going to make that one. I don't really care. There's another Steven Crowder video too. I could probably do that tomorrow, or I'll hop on. I don't know. But hey, thank you for watching. Drop a like, subscribe, Joel Up Politics, Cash App or Venmo. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Join Discord, all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out. Oh, Night K. You don't gotta delete that one. Like when the guy said, but unless if they're a bot, but when people like you lie about the facts, that's when people get pissed off. Like you don't gotta ban that comment. Unblock them if you block them. That's fine, unless if it's a bot, like a clear bot. Did he say it multiple times? No, even the other message, should people that enter legally speak English, or is that racist? That's fine too. Just as long as they're not saying crazy shit. You don't gotta delete. Wait, his other comment's not bad. Even if you do have a work permit, it can be revoked. I mean, technically. You don't gotta delete that guy. Oh, why did you block him? What else did he do? Okay, well, good luck. Hassan Piker is Bad Bunny. Well, time them out. Don't fully block. Time them out. Don't fully block people like that. We want viewers, okay? We don't want to turn people away that watch like that and who comment. Okay, so just time them out for a minute, okay? Did you block them or time them out? Because if you block them, okay, good. Timeout's fine. Yeah, timeout's fine. Just don't fully block them. 600 seconds. Don't do too long. Okay, we need that. We need that engagement, the precious engagement. A very long time. I don't block people. Yeah, it's good. Only block like very, very, very obvious spots, copying, pasting, whatever. And people saying extremely crazy stuff. If they violate that rule, Kyle, too, just do the I might ban that word in general, to be honest, in my chat. So you don't even gotta worry about that. Hey guys, I'm getting off right now if you're hopping back on right now. If you're hopping on, I'm getting off. Thank you for watching though. Another good stream tonight. We're ramping back up. Getting good viewership, posting videos, getting video views, and what word? The R word. Ice agent. It's the word that means ice agent. First timer. Who's a first timer to the show? And are you gonna watch again? Who's a first timer and are you gonna watch again? I'm sure a lot of first timers left. Am I blocked yet? Problematic posts. Yeah. If it's like really, really bad. Obviously we have a decent threshold for how much we're gonna take in terms of that kind of stuff. Our threshold, our sensitivity, or whatever it means. First timer, here he is. This is my first time, true. Only Spanish. I am and I might. Cool. Our ICE agent is reluctant. I'll watch. We need more like you. Thank you. I guess. Racist? Question mark? No. Artard. The artard word. Okay guys, I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you for watching. Join Discord. Discord's been dead for a while. It happens. It happens. And they'll be back eventually. Do I need to make Kyle a super mod still? Been bopping lately. I'm putting more consistent videos up on YouTube, and they're doing decent. I got a couple thousand views on a few of them, so that's a good development. If we can keep that going, would be nice, would be cool, would be great. Super mod on Discord. You appreciate my views, but you don't agree. Nice, thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, I saw the Discord facial recognition thing. I don't like that, but like, the truth is we already live in an authoritarian society like China. Capitalism has evolved to the point where there's like 2 companies. So let's say we had more companies competing with each other, then like Ring, their commercial with the dogs, and you have all these different surveillance technologies and stuff rising with ICE and whatever else. And we talked about Discord doing facial scans now to so-called verify your age. It's like, yeah, there's not any competitors we can really go to for a lot of these things. It's like, oh, I'm going to boycott Amazon. Oh, wait, what other companies can I use? Oh, there's like 2 other ones. If there were more competitive people or companies in the market, it would be different, but we're just kind of screwed. The DNC needs you. Well, I'm afraid this channel is probably going to stop my ability to do that stuff, so to be a member of the DNC. Maybe not. The times are changing. The times are changing a little bit. Times are changing a little bit, man. All right. Have a good night, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't think your hard work is not appreciated. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. My 401k went up over 200,000 in a year. Well, you're too privileged. You're privileged. I get it. You're privileged and you support Trump because you're privileged. It's okay. And he's my show. Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna go after Hassan Piker tomorrow for hating Zoran Mamdani. A little bit. We're gonna do a little bit of that. Hassan's mad that Zoran's working with Kathy Hochul to do childcare. Oh. Interesting. Okay, guys, have a good night. Thank you. I like Zoran. I'm a big Zoran fan. I'm a huge Zoran fan. Even just in terms of his total skill as a communicator, like he is a star. Like, it's like how I was with like you could be like Tom Brady. I hate Tom Brady, but I know he's a baller, you know. Or people how they are with LeBron James. Like you can hate him, but you know he's a baller. All right, I'm actually gonna go to bed now. Thank you. Have a good night.